Hero4 Silver Edition camera, and I'm going to take it out of the box, see what's inside, unbox it, and set it up for use in water sports. So yeah, let's take a look inside. Gotta peel these little tabs off on the side, and it slides out, and then an adhesive right here. So one of the really cool new features of the Silver is that it has the LCD back. So let's take a look at what that looks like. And the battery goes in from the bottom. So instead of having it a flap on the back, it has the battery in the bottom. So let's find the battery for it. I'm going to open up this box. Manual is right here. Let's see what's in there. So according to the packaging, there's the camera, the standard housing, rechargeable battery, curved and flat adhesive mounts, 3-way pivot arm, quick release buckles, USB cable, and skeleton and touch back doors. Make sure we got everything here. So this is the touch screen housing, and then this is the skeleton back housing, which you would use if you want to have better audio but it won't be waterproof. So you can also just use the camera without a housing if you want to do that. The 3-way pivot arm is cool because you can change the angle by 90 degrees with this part, and then you can pivot it, adjust it, so you can have a lot of different mounting options with this pivot arm. There's a USB cable, and then this is the new battery. It's different than the battery from the GoPro 3 and 3 Plus. It has this little tab on the outside, so you slide it in here, put it in the camera, see if it turns on. Put it down. So the screen is a new screen, slightly different. It says no SD card. Battery's almost empty, so I gotta charge this thing up. Here's the screen. Pretty small, but it's nice because you can change the settings from the screen instead of doing it up here with these buttons, which I've always found kind of confusing and annoying. So having a touchscreen in the back is definitely a nice feature. There's a different feature sets, video settings, and then different camera modes. So, and then you're able to line up your shot the way you want it, which is pretty cool. Okay, so now before you can use the camera, you have to put in an SD card, and that's actually not included, so it's something you have to get separately. It's a micro SD card, and it has to be at least a class 10. So make sure when you're getting it, make sure that it's a class 10 micro SD card. You can go up to 64 gigabytes. This one's 32, which gives you, plenty of storage, and actually the battery will run out before the SD card is full. So, but get a big card so you don't always have to download the video every time you use it. So, anyways, the SD card slides into the slot. If it doesn't go in that way, put it in the other way. Put it in properly, and it slides in there and locks in. And put this cover back on. So let's turn it back on. The SD card inside. See what it tells us. Now it has this symbol there for the SD card. So we got the card in there. We're going to unlock the screen. You have to hold that red dot in there for a sec. And then now we got the screen again. So let's set it up for water sports. Like, I'm going to show you some settings that I like to use for the camera. So let's go into the video mode, sliding it up. So the resolution here, you can click on that, and the 4K is the highest resolution. That's a really high resolution for really good video quality.
but I like to use the 1080. It's a little bit lower resolution than the max, but the nice thing about that, it gives you some options. You can set the frame rate really high. If you think you're going to use some slow motion footage where you want to slow down the action, that's nice because it gives you real smooth slow motion if you have a higher frame rate. And then so let's set that 60, and then field of view, so that gives you some options on how wide of a field of view you want, wide, medium, narrow. So let's say you want it on the nose of your board filming back at you, then a wide setting is good because you're going to be pretty close to the camera. So we leave that at wide, leave the low light turned on, spot meter off. Then by turning the Pro Tune on, you get some more options, which is pretty cool. White color balance auto is good. Just adjust for the white color. GoPro is a good setting. It'll automatically kind of color adjust it, and you don't have to do much editing to the colors. The ISO limit, I kind of like to set it to a lower limit of 400, which is good if you have lots of light. This has less noise than the higher ISO limit setting. Sharpness, I'm going to leave that high. The EV compensation, this is kind of for lighting. You can kind of set it to overexpose or underexpose a little bit depending on the light. So sometimes when I shoot like into the light, like directly into sunlight, so then the person in the foreground is just like a silhouette. This gives you a little bit more exposure, so you see a little bit more when you're shooting into the light. And then yeah, if you reset Pro Tune, it just goes back to the default. But these are some good settings to get started with. I'm going to use those for now. Ready to shoot.